Hey everybody, it's Emily, the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today with the European night crawlers for an update. If you guys recall, we fed in the center section last week, so I wanted to jump right into the middle and see how they were doing. A lot of babies. I don't have a tendency to see a lot of worm balls inside of avocado shells with these guys. They're usually a little funny about that, so it's pretty cool. A lot of babies. I'm not seeing as many adults as I would have expected. But let's just turn these top to bottom a bit. There's a few adults hanging out through here. Similar to what Lilia Kogan's been saying, that she feels like her Euros have shrunk a little. They just don't look quite as healthy. I mean, there's still a handful of guys in here that look pretty good, but maybe there's something to be said for that. I'm not really sure what that would be just yet, but something to keep an eye on. Here's some of that old cabbage still untouched from the leftovers from my cheesecake factory. And there's some big guys down here. So there's still some that are looking pretty good in my opinion. Just gonna cover up those cabbage leaves. If they dry out, we're just not gonna get the worm activity going on over there. And let me hop over to the other bin. We'll take a look at that one as well. So the middle section again, where we fed. These guys just don't make worm balls very often. But they are all through the middle here, and there were melon rinds, I believe, and I'm not seeing them, so they must have been doing something in there. Turn this top to bottom again. I'm going to show you guys a picture here on the side of the screen. I was trying to stack these again, so I threw a lid on the other day after I had let it dry out for about 2 days after I fed. So it was nice and dry in here. Put the lids on. Then it started raining, and I had a friend message me and say, "Oh my gosh, those Euros I bought from you, they're climbing everywhere." So I thought, oh, maybe I'll go check on mine, and I took the lids off and worms fell all over from these top edges. And so it prompted some discussion as to why some people say Euros are some of their favorite and they're most kind of easy to raise worms, but for me, I think by far they are the most finicky, I guess, maybe it's the word, just particular, and they are easily disturbed by the weather. They don't like vibrations. So it's just funny. Some people are, I always say that my reds are the easiest. Then maybe the African night crawlers. And then perhaps after that the blues, and then the Euros to me I think are the worst. So just goes to show everybody's situation. Maybe it's the way you run your systems is all a little bit unique. But I want these guys to finish composting what's in here. I don't want these to get much fuller. So I'm not going to add any bedding. I'm going to add some moisture, and I think I'm going to add just some coffee grounds. And that will be our update for today. So let me grab some of that together and we will do that now. So similar to what I'm doing with some of my other bins, I've decided to join my two bins together in one to finish composting, and I'm going to do a little neglect experiment with this one as well. The only difference will be I'll have to add moisture to this one because I cannot leave the lids on these European Nightcrawler bins. The Euros are just very funny about the lids being on. So I'm going to pull out the food items from the other bin and put them in here, and then I'm going to dump the worms on top. And I have a little bit of an idea for that. So bear with me 1 second and I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so the unprocessed food items from the other bin is these 2 little pieces of corn cobs and some more of the cabbage leaves, which are just going to take a while. So this is why I think this will be another bin that's going to be good for the neglect experiment. So now I have a large container of coconut coir and coffee grounds. And I'm going to pour all of this in here. This is a bedding source as well as a food source. And I think this will help hold the moisture in because it'll be in the middle layers, so it'll keep the bin nice and moist the way the worms like it to be. So top that off real good. And let me get some of my special mix that we'll mix over the top, and then we're going to dump the contents of the other bin over top of all of this. All right, nice heaping spoonful here of the neem cake, diatomaceous earth, kelp meal, and oyster shell. And let's add the rest of these worms in here. Okay, so everybody's added into the party right here. I know these guys are probably going to be a little bit shaken up for a little while and climbing on me, but I'm filming some other updates, so I'll be in here to make sure they all get knocked back down until they settle in. This top material, even though it was coming from the bottom of the other bin, is actually on the dry side. So like I said, I'm going to have to be good about watering this. So this will be like the part 2 of the neglect experiment, where nothing I'm going to do with turning the bin, nothing like that. It's strictly going to be adding some moisture to the top every few days so it doesn't dry out. So here is the first part of this neglect experiment. So let me know what you think. Drop your comments below. Like this video, subscribe if you'd like some more content from me, and I'll be back with you guys real soon for an update.